All right, how about this? We already have one flying indestructible hexproof angel. How about another flying hexproof angel, but this time with the flavor text of "You cannot lose the game." Bap. Hey there, neighbor, and we're back with another video from this newest set of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Today, we're playing in standard, and we're gonna be able to never lose the game. And the way that we achieve that is with this new mythic card, Perennation. As you can see, it says return a target permanent card from the graveyard to the battlefield with a hexproof counter and a indestructible counter on it. So I know it says target permanent. Today, we are just trying to bring back creatures. The main creature that we're trying to get is Herald of Dawn, and we can see her flavor text says you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. So if we bring her back from the graveyard to the battlefield with Perennation, then we won't be able to lose the game, and this creature will have a hexproof and indestructible counter on it. So the only way that your opponents can remove this creature is if they have Sunfall, if they have a forced sack, like Liliana of the Veil, for instance. You see her -2 says target player sacrifices a creature. Shieldred's Edict can also force you to sacrifice a creature. Other than that, I can't think of too many ways to get rid of a creature that has indestructible and a hexproof counter on them in standard. So this is the creature that we really want to bring back from the graveyard. I threw in 2 other creatures as well. Atraxa, the Grand Unifier. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this creature by now. She is, an amazing creature. She has just so many keywords: flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink. Already just such a nuisance to deal with. And if she has an indestructible and hexproof counter on this creature, I don't really see how you lose the game that way either. Of course, if the opponents have a very wide board, I guess they could still attack you down, even though you would be gaining 7 life by blocking with Atraxa. I guess opponents could still mill you out, so that is a way that you could lose the game. Or with poison counters, that is another way that you could lose the game. But then, finally, the last creature I wanted to throw in there, just kind of for the lulz, was Phyrexian Obliterator. You guys can imagine if this guy has a hexproof and indestructible counter, and he just stands there menacingly. It's like that one SpongeBob meme from way back in the day. But yeah, Perennation does say that you have to return it from the graveyard. So we do have to discard. And so the way that we do that, we have Bitter Triumph as a removal spell. As an additional cost, you can choose to discard a card. I actually want to try this Corroding Dragonstorm, also from this Tarkir Dragonstorm set that just came out. We can see that it's an enchantment for 2 mana, and it says when it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life, and we gain 2 life, and then we get to Surveil. So that way, if we see any of these creatures that we want in the graveyard, we can go ahead and throw them into the graveyard that way. And then we also have this Collector's Vault for 2 colorless mana. Hits the battlefield, and then it takes 2 mana to activate it, but then we can draw a card and then discard a card. So that is another way to start to get stuff in the graveyard. And then the final way would be with Liliana of the Veil. I'm sure you guys know this Planeswalker by now as well. +1 each player, so including us, discards a card. And then other than that, just to round out the deck, I included 2 Sheltered by Ghosts, just to start exiling some of the opponent's stuff when we bring back one of our creatures. Does also give them lifelink as well. So I know with Herald of Dawn on the battlefield, we literally can't lose the game. Atraxa already has lifelink. But yeah, if we're only able to pull back a Phyrexian Obliterator, maybe we're on low life and the opponent has a really wide board, then giving that creature lifelink might be a way to kind of keep yourself alive. And then we also have a Greedy Freebooter. It's a very nice 1 mana 1/1 creature. I like to just use him as a blocker. And then it says when this creature dies, you get to scry 1 and then create a treasure token as well. So yeah, Perennation white, black, and green. So I threw in just a bunch of lands together. I think most of them, maybe nearly all of them, except for Lush, Portico, do include black, just because Phyrexian Obliterator takes 4 black pips, Liliana 2 black pips, so a lot of black heavy cards in our deck. Honestly, just the green is in there, really just for Perennation. Guess we could maybe streamline the lands a little bit if we do think that we're getting a lot of treasure tokens from the Collector's Vault, but yeah, you may not always hit a Collector's Vault. So yeah, that's why I went with those lands. But yeah, I really hope today that we can bring back a Herald of Dawn and just not be able to lose that way. Bring back an Atraxa would be really awesome as well, and then hopefully we can get maybe a few jokes as games where we're able to bring back a Phyrexian Obliterator with a Indestructible and Hexproof counter on. So let's see if we can achieve that in the games that we're going to play. See ya. All right, we get to go first. Pretty good hand, so let's keep it and go ahead and scry on turn 1. Do we want 2 Collector's Vaults? I guess we do. Go ahead and get down a Collector's Vault on turn 2. If opponent makes us discard. Oh, that's too bad. I was going to say, hopefully they make us discard and get rid of Atraxa. So yeah, I'll definitely get down Collector's Vault this turn. Next turn, we can get Atraxa into the graveyard and just start digging for our Perennation. So yeah, I got the new Dragonlands from this set that just came out. Go ahead and play this one, and we'll activate it on their turn. Ooh, the Unstoppable Slasher. I think we can still activate Collector's Vault. I guess we'll get rid of our second copy of it. Dragonstorm is nice. Go ahead and get down Greedy Freebooter, and then let's just hold. We'll go ahead and end turn. If they don't get rid of our Greedy Freebooter, we can use him to block, get a scry whenever he dies. If they do decide to get rid of him, then we can get rid of their Unstoppable Slasher with our Bitter Triumph. So, and I was going to say, right before that popped up, I was going to say, guys, please, let's believe in Heart of the Cards, Perennation on top, and it is. Yeah, so let's ponder for a moment, maybe make the opponent think, like, well, maybe that's not the best card they need. Let's see. Yeah, next turn we will have 6 mana, so we will 100%, let's just make sure 3 plus the land we play will be 4, and the 2 treasure tokens is enough to cast Perennation. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one, discard this one. Of course, Unstoppable Slasher does come back, but they are all tapped out. And the only thing that really worries me is if they have a Shieldred's Edict. That is the only way that Mono Black can deal with us. Let's go ahead and take a Sheltered by Ghosts. Which land do we want? All of them come in tapped, basically. Go ahead and get this one, I guess. I guess we will take another Atraxa. Basically reload our entire hand, so that's actually quite nice. So yeah, I just played a game, you guys won't see it, but unfortunately, it was Up the Beanstalk's deck, and they had a Sunfall. I had Herald of Eternal Dawn on the battlefield, so that was too bad. But in this game, it looks like Dark Saruman did not have any Edict effects, so our Atraxa was staying on the battlefield forever. She has an Indestructible counter, so she can block these death-touching creatures, and she would gain 7 life each time, so GG. All right, we get to go first. I think we'll keep it. We have a Collector's Vault. Great way of cycling through our deck. So we'll go ahead and play him on turn 2. Then we can, yeah, like I said, start digging through our deck. Ooh, opponent on a dragon deck. That's pretty cool. We drew Perennation. That's amazing. We'll go ahead and make them sacrifice this. Dragon spells cost 1 less, so that might be pretty important.
Sacrifices must be made.
And then let's just go ahead and plus up Liliana. I think we'll get rid of Sheltered by Ghosts since we don't really have any creatures. And then let's end turn. We can activate Collector's Vault. That'll pull us up to 5 mana. Let's get rid of 1 Bitter Triumph just to get down the Greedy Freebooter. And a land. I think we'll keep the land for right now. I don't know how much more I want to discard with Liliana. I guess we'll keep plussing her up. Get rid of the land.
Don't overthink things.
And then we can still activate Collector's Vault. Ooh, destroy a non-basic land. This is a Magmatic Hellcat. I might want to try him in my historic land destruction deck that I posted just the other day. You guys should go check that one out. It's a ton of fun. But that's fine. Does come back with a stun counter. So we will actually do it like this. Tap that one for black. I can go ahead and activate this one with that floating mana then. I guess we'll get rid of... Well, we do need to keep... Yeah, we'll get rid of the land. Because we create a treasure token off that. We do have a few basics in the deck. Let's go ahead and get a black. And then, honestly... Wait, this is on the stack now. Z to undo. No, okay, yeah. My turn. Drew another land. How do we want to do this? Let's activate Collector's Vault. We drew an Atraxa. Let's go. Alright, so next turn we have it. Let's just go ahead and make them sacrifice their Hellkite. We will go ahead and play a land. And then we'll go ahead and end turn. Deals 2 damage to any target for 1 mana. That's okay. Ooh, they do have 1 blue mana open. That honestly does make me worry a little bit. Let's go ahead and activate this one. It's just another land. Let's go ahead and attack with the Greedy Freebooter. See if they want to kill him. Doesn't look like it. Should we play a land? I guess we will. Alright, yeah. I just want them to tap out. I really don't want to get blown out by a counter spell. So, dragon spells you cast cost 1 less. Whenever a dragon you control enters, you may have Sarkhan become a copy of it. Nice. Nice, nice. Alright, so this one, only a dragon spell. So, I don't think he has any counter spells available. All his dragons have flying, but how funny would it be if we brought back a Phyrexian Obliterator? So, yeah, let's just go ahead and bring back Atraxa. And then we can take a Herald of Eternal Dawn. Let's take a Sheltered by Ghosts, and let's get a land. And then let's go ahead and... oh yeah, we will discard. Let's go ahead and discard our Herald of Eternal Dawn. If we could bring that one back with Perennation, that would be amazing. They've had enough yet. Alright, so GG. Alright, as crazy as this seems, this is a snap keep for us. Can go ahead and get Collector's Vault down on turn 2, and then we can activate it 3 turns in a row, discarding these, hopefully getting up to 6 mana. Hopefully mono red doesn't have too much. Take that back. They're not mono red. So we are looking for lands. That is a bit unfortunate. We didn't draw one. But yeah, that's the first thing that we drop. We did draw a land. Let's go ahead and drop a Phyrexian Obliterator. Alright, next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Perennation and get back our Eternal of Herald Dawn. Our Dawn. Herald of Eternal Dawn, that is what it's called. Question is, do we think they have a counter spell? Oh, I always hate seeing an island. And I'm worried about it. So yeah, we'll just pass it back to them. I've seen too many counter spells today. And I don't want to get blown out. But yeah, this opponent has literally shown us nothing. Oh, and they tap out for that. Let's go. Alright, we'll drop Phyrexian Obliterator. Alright, so let's go ahead and get down this one. And let's bring back our Herald of Eternal Dawn, baby! So yeah, flying, hexproof, indestructible. With the flavor text of, you cannot lose the game, and your opponent cannot win the game. So I don't really know how they deal with this. So they are playing a few dragons. That's fine with me. Let's go ahead. Well, let's draw first. See if we hit anything good. We'll go ahead and drop a land. And then, yeah, let's just get rid of this Bone Horde. It's a really good dragon dinosaur. I have him in my dino deck. Opponent's reading all the cards. I really like the artwork for the Herald of Eternal Dawn as well. Looks really, really nice. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get down another Collector's Vault. Go ahead and pass it back to our opponent. Opponent thinking about what they want to do. They go with the Breaching Dragonstorm. Deals 5 damage to target creature. Well, you can't target my creature. Let's just go ahead and crack those 2 treasure tokens. Draw a card. Let's go ahead and get rid of Bitter Triumph. I think we'll be able to cast Atraxa. So let's just go ahead and do that. Hopefully find another Perennation off the top. I don't think for 1 mana they can do 7 damage. Unfortunately, we didn't find one. We'll take a Scry land. Let's take a Herald of Eternal Dawn. And maybe 1 or 2 other things. Alright, we gotta go first. We'll keep it. Pretty funny hand. Can at least discard 1 of our Herald of Eternal Dawn with Bitter Triumph. Of course, opponent does have to be playing a creature or planeswalker. But there's plenty of that going around in Standard. And we did draw Perennation, so please, please, please play a creature for us. What does that one say? Of creatures you control cost 2 less, so they for sure are playing a creature. We will have 4. That one adds white, yeah, so we'll have all the colors. We'll have 4 mana. That is fine. A Boom Scholar. Should we go for the throat? It's not really what you want to see, but we'll keep it. I guess we could get rid of their creature now, since we know they're playing quite a few creatures. Felidar. Let's see what they want to do. Did they play their land already? Yeah, entered this turn. They don't attack. We drew a land, so that is beautiful. Up to 5 mana. They're playing Maze's End. Are they playing a gate deck? It looks like it. Alright, so if we draw a land, which is a 41% chance to happen, we will have 6 mana. So I think we're going to risk it. Of course, if we drop it in the graveyard, they might then start holding up counter spells, which of course would be a little bit unfortunate. They are completely tapped out. I think we're going to risk it. So let's go ahead and discard a card. Guess we'll get rid of their cat. Drop 1 Herald of Eternal Dawn. And hope we draw a land. Please, please, please. If you ask nicely. And the deck delivers. I should have specified a untapped land. Yo. Okay, game. I see what you're doing. Another Maze's End. So 5 mana available. 3 blue. That one costs 2. Can they activate it? Reveal cards from the top until you reveal 2 land cards. Let's see if this draws out a counterspell. They just activate it right away. They still have 2 mana available, and one of them's blue. Are we dead next turn? I'm not sure. I think we're just going to try it. Let's get back Herald of Eternal Dawn. Oh, no counterspell. Let's go. All right. I think the only thing this deck might have would be a Sunfall. I really, really hope they don't have a Sunfall. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised how many ways there are to answer Indestructible Hexproof in Standard right now. I'll go over it in the deck outro, but yeah, it makes me a little bit sad. This honestly is a little bit more janky than I thought it would be. But yeah, let's just enjoy this game right here. Hope that the opponent has nothing that can deal with this, but if they do, then so be it. So yeah, they keep hovering over our card. This might be a Sunfall. Go ahead and block. No Sunfall, so that's really good. Let's go ahead and get down this Corroding Dragonstorm. Oh, Atraxa can go into the graveyard, and we'll keep a Perennation on top. And then we will attack for 6. Bop. Yeah, okay, so they're just going to exile our Atraxa. That is too bad. So I don't know if we'll be able to get anything else back from the graveyard if they keep that Cauldron untapped on our turn. So yeah, Herald of Eternal Dawn might need to carry us. Let's see. Maze's End, if they have 10 different gates, you win the game, but Herald of Eternal Dawn says your opponent can't win the game, so Haywire Might to blow something up, but we don't really have anything worth blowing up. Can we draw another one? That's pretty funny. I guess we could play this one. Let's attack them first, even though, yeah, don't think they have anything. We know they don't play black, so I don't think they have any edict effects. Opponent is just going to blow that one up. That is fine. Gain 2 life, so they're back on a 3-turn clock. And opponent thinking about what they want to do. They exile that creature. So down to 35 cards in the library. How many gates do they have? 1, 2, 3. Are those the same one? Yeah. 4, 5, 6 gates. They need 10. And even then, I don't think they win. Oh, that's a pretty nice combo. That's a crazy combo. That is a absolutely wild combo. Props to you, White Elephant. But I don't think that wins you the game. I don't think that wins you the game. So have 1 mana available. Yeah, that was a cool combo from the opponent. I'll give them that. They did all that on our turn as well, so that's kind of crazy. But again, I don't think they can deal with this Herald of Eternal Dawn. Spelunking, so all cards, not all cards, all lands come in untapped. That is nice for them. Alright, opponent just gonna pop off on their turn right now. $23 cards left in library. Just go ahead and attack them. Opponent going to exile the Haywire Might. So opponent down to 2 life. They are playing a ton of lands. They return the Maze's End, but I don't think that'll work because, yeah, we have Herald of Eternal Dawn, so... Alright, we know we're safe from that combo. If they have a Farewell, if they have a Sunfall, then that is farewell to us, which would suck. I have already seen that today when I had a Herald of Eternal Dawn onto the battlefield. Someone did Sunfall us. So 2 cards in hand, just 20 cards left in deck. How many lands are they up to? How many lands do they play? Let's see. 3, 5, 10, 12, 14, 16. I don't know which lands I'm counting, sorry. I count 23 lands right now. I count 0 lands right now. Oh, they had even more over there. Yeah, I don't know. They have a bunch of lands. All right, but they are going to have to deal with a Phyrexian Obliterator, and we'll swing through for 6 damage over the top. And I don't think they can stop us. They're just gonna exhaust everything on their turn. Come on. Alright, I think I'll cut this one until they're done wasting time, so you guys don't need to sit through that. Alright, opponent eventually gave up, so GG. On to the next one. Alright, opponent goes first. We do have 2 Perennations in our hands, so I will keep it. Let's just hope we're not up against something too aggressive. Tiny Bones. We will keep a Greedy Freebooter. So yeah, finally when we come across a discard deck, we have nothing to discard that we want to discard. We'll get rid of a Shielder's Edict. Oh, man. Alright, let's get down Collector's Vault. Land is a very nice draw. Let's honestly get down Greedy Freebooter, and then we can activate Collector's Vault on their turn. So they're going to go ahead and scry. Probably for some more discard spells. Go ahead and end turn. Shieldred, we'll go ahead and draw right now. 4, 5. All right, yeah, we really need to hold on to both of these. Let's go ahead and draw. Ooh, Atraxa is a great find. All right, so we can play a land. 2, 4, 5 mana. Next turn we can activate, or not next turn, on their turn we can activate Collector's Vault. We can go ahead and drop off a Atraxa, and then we'll have 6 mana to bring it back. They do have a Bandit's Talent. Oh man, yeah, if they take Atraxa, that really sucks. If they have 2 discard spells, that also really sucks. I think, yeah, we go ahead and drop Atraxa. And let's just pray that they don't have another discard spell. Please don't have a discard spell. Oh, let's go. All right, I think that might be GG to our opponent. Let's go ahead and bring back a indestructible hexproof Atraxa. And then we can get a Herald of Eternal Dawn. Let's go ahead and kill their Shieldred. Let's take this enchantment and this artifact. So, bam, a full reload. Let's go ahead and scry. Yeah, we'll take another Bitter Triumph. And then we'll just hold our creatures back to block. And I really don't know what they can do to this. Exile a card. We'll get rid of a land, of course. Let's get rid of the one that comes in tapped. So yeah, I don't think we'll ever block with the Greedy Freebooter either, just in case they have a Shieldred's Edict. Let's go ahead and drop off our Herald of Eternal Dawn. Let's go ahead and draw, play a land. Yeah, let's activate it on their turn. And then we can attack with Atraxa. Gain 7 life. And I really don't see how they come back from this. They have another Shieldred. That's fine. We have 6 mana. We'll actually have 7 mana, because I'll activate the Vault. They have a Deep Cavern Bat. I guess they take the Bitter Triumph. That's unfortunate, because I wanted to kill their Deep Cavern Bat to get back our Perennation, but so be it. They'll eventually have to block with one of those bats. Let's actually see if we can draw a removal. We do. Let's drop off the Collector's Vault. And we are never punished, baby. I hope they don't scoop. Alright, let's go ahead and draw. That's fine. Alright, how about this? We already have one flying indestructible hexproof angel. How about another flying hexproof angel, but this time with the flavor text of "You cannot lose the game." Bap. Hit him for 7. And yeah, you go ahead and look all angry at me. You rock. Alright, I really don't see how the opponent comes back from this. Sacrifice 2 creatures. That, I will say, I have come across so many sacrifice cards. That is honestly kind of crazy. So yeah, that's what I was worried about. Let's just go ahead and draw. Crack those 2 treasures. We need to find another creature. Atraxa is a great find. Honestly, we'll get rid of Go for the Throat. Alright, let's go ahead and draw. Oh, another Herald of Eternal Dawn. That's a nice pickup. Let's go ahead and play out an Atraxa. We really need to find another Perennation, which we do. Let's go ahead and take a land. Collector's Vault. Sure. Do we have a land that comes in untapped? We do. So yeah, we'll play this land. And yeah, we'll attack them for 6. So I'm not going to block the Shieldred if they attack. Yes, we caught there in the end. Ooh, that got kind of close, like I was saying. This combo of indestructible hexproof creature is not as foolproof as I thought it would be. That Rush of the Dread, honestly, crazy tech card. Haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, GG. All right, we get to go first. And this is a really, really good hand. So we will keep it. Play Concealed Courtyard on turn 1. I guess we'll go Swamp on turn 2. Oh, and we drew a Perennation. Let's absolutely go. All right, we just need to find some lands now. Greedy Freebooter, I'll take him. He can block and create a treasure token for us. And we can go ahead and remove any creature that gets too powerful. We already know they're playing life gain. I was honestly just going to say if it's a Johnny's Pridemate or Essence Channeler, you can go ahead and take that one out in a few turns. So yeah, 2 kill spells. Bitter Triumph can discard the Herald of Eternal Dawn. So that is fine. We'll go ahead and block with the Greedy Freebooter. Actually, no, we won't. We'll block next turn. This creature will be a bit more beefed up. Honestly, we could kill it right now. Let's just do that. Let's get rid of this one right now. Should have maybe done that before it got those counters, but whatever. And yeah, next turn we'll block with Greedy Freebooter because we get a Scry with him. And we already know we have a land on top. Down to 17 after taking 4. So that is fine. 2, 4. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say no attacks. We'll first block with Greedy Freebooter. We can get the Scry. If we have a land on top, we'll keep the land on top, create a treasure token from him, and then at the end step of their turn, we'll go ahead and drop off the Eternal Dawn. And when it goes back into our turn, we can bring her back with a indestructible hexproof counter. So yeah, they can gain as much life as they want. Pass. Block the one that's dealing 4 damage to us. Please be a land on top. Liliana, we won't take it. I think we still risk it, so let's go ahead and discard a card. We'll get rid of that creature. Discard Herald of Eternal Dawn. And let's hope we draw a land. It's a 42% chance for a land. Let's specify a untapped land, please. Oh, if you ask nicely, you shall receive. Let's go. All right, let's see how the last Dawn can deal with this. Because honestly, every single game I've played, I've honestly felt kind of nervous just because of how many ways there are to deal with this. As crazy as that sounds. So, we did draw another one. We don't have any creatures down there, so let's just attack them for 6. I guess if they have a Sunfall is the only thing I can think of that white might have that could deal with it. Unfortunately, we draw a land. We will drop it down. Yeah, so opponent's just gaining a ton of life. This honestly might be a war of attrition right now. Might honestly have to mill them out. Let's just hold back our Herald of Eternal Dawn then. So let's see, we can get Phyrexian Obliterator, but they just have a bunch of flyers. So, well, I guess we could attack with Phyrexian Obliterator. Of course, Atraxa would be a great one to draw and discard. We have the discard spell, so we just need the creature. Alright, yeah, we will go ahead and block. Because we do have a indestructible counter. So we won't die. Or we won't lose our creature. Concealed Courtyard. We'll hold on to it. If we draw a Collector's Vault, this would be a good one to bin. And we just hold for now. Johnny's Pridemate. Of course they have that one. So it honestly feels like I'm playing Historic right now. Because even when you don't play in Historic format, you still play against Mono White Life Gain. Big damage. Does this new companion do anything? Oh, it has some incense, it looks like. Oh, he glows himself. Alright, we did draw another one. Should we bring it back to the battlefield? I guess we can, yeah. I guess we can. We'll do it next turn. Let's go ahead and turn those smoke effects off. Alright, yeah, they're sticking in it. That honestly does make me think they have a Sunfall, which would make me so sad. People play super, super heavy creature decks. And yeah, they include like a 1 of board wipe, and this board wipe is something that exiles. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's honestly get rid of Ajani's Pridemate. Oh, I nearly dropped off Perennation. That would be terrible. Go ahead and get rid of that one. Alright, yeah, this, honestly, guys, this might be a, like I said earlier, war of attrition. I might skip to either one we win, or if they play a Sunfall on us. Because otherwise, I think this game will take a really long time. And I don't think you guys want to sit through every turn of the opponent gaining life, putting counters on, scrying, drawing, all of the typical mono white stuff. They say, when you stare into the void stares back. But I didn't expect the void to be so friendly, so pure, so mono white life gain. It didn't threaten me. They didn't threaten me. They just healed endlessly, relentlessly. I watched in silence as their life total became a philosophical concept. Their creatures, tiny, unassuming, they grew like compound interest. A Pridemate here, an angel there, each turn stretching longer and longer until time itself bent around them. It bent around me. I aged. I forgot the sound of my own voice. I started to wonder if I had ever truly lived before this moment. If I would ever live again. I hovered over the concede button. My cursor trembled. But I didn't click. Because this wasn't just a match. This was a test. A test of patience. A test of endurance. Whether I could sit through one more trigger on the stack without screaming into the void that now lives inside of me. At one point, I think they played a land. I blinked, and suddenly, 5 minutes later, they were still gaining life. When they finally passed the turn back to me, it wasn't a mercy, and it wasn't strategy. So now, when I stare into the void, I do so with reverence, because the void is not empty. It's full of angels, and Ajani Pridemates, and creatures with lifelink that have no chill. And somewhere in that void, their creatures are still growing. Alright, we get to go first. I think my brain has turned into mush from the mono white life gain I just played against. So I kind of forgot how this deck works, but we'll try and make it work. Do we want to land? We will take a land. We have Perennation. Opponent's going to surveil. We will also surveil. We definitely don't need 2 more lands in a row. Just 3 land drops. 3 lands on top. You love to see that. A Collector's Vault is a phenomenal pickup. I think we'll go ahead and remove Anim next turn. Atraxa was a phenomenal pickup, so let's go ahead and do all this on the opponent's turn. Let's go ahead and pass. Oh, I guess I should have done that before they attacked, but whatever. Oof. Alright, let's hope that we can draw a land from this, because then we will have 6 mana. Alright, well, let's hope we draw a land off the top. I will pay 3 life. I know that is a pretty steep cost. $40% to draw a land. Oh, ask and you shall receive. So we bring in Atraxa back, crack that treasure token. And what do we want? We'll take a Liliana, let's take a Surveil land, we'll take a Go for the Throat and a Greedy Freebooter. Opponent is putting a lot of pressure on us though. Even though if they attack now, yikes. I wanted to say even if they attack we'll gain 7 life, but maybe they didn't see the indestructible counter on Atraxa, so let's honestly just go ahead and play Liliana, start making them discard a few cards, and yeah, they've had enough. Okay. So this game was done in maybe a minute or 2. We got really lucky that we hit that land drop off the top. But yeah, turn 4, that felt really nice after suffering through that mono white life gain deck. So GG, on to the next one. All right, we will keep this. Go ahead and surveil turn 1. Definitely don't need a land. We have plenty of those. Bitter Triumph will help us discard one of our Heralds of Eternal Dawn. Surveil land is really nice, but I think we'll just go ahead and get rid of Giada right away. Giada, I think it is. Really good angel. Makes all of our other angels so much stronger. Can also help add white mana as well. They have Errant and Giada. Pretty cool angel as well. We did draw a Liliana of the Veil, so that is really nice for us.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once it's not. One of your friends has to leave.
Alright, I don't think Phyrexian Obliterator will be any good because they just have a bunch of flying creatures. Resplendent Angel. Collector's Vault, pretty nice. Bitter Triumph, also nice, but I think we have enough discard, but that is a kill spell. Nah, I think we start digging. So let's go ahead and make everyone discard.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Yeah, they just have a bunch of flying creatures, so yeah, Phyrexian Obliterator. Kinda useless. So they're gonna take out Liliana. I mean, I guess we could play him.
Nothing more.
Even though, yeah, they can out life gain us, but yes, we drew Perennation. All right, so go ahead and activate it on their turn. Drop off Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah, definitely drop off Phyrexian Obliterator. And then we can play, let's actually drop this land so we don't even need to crack our treasure token. And then let's see who has the better angels. My one angel against their team of angels. Maybe they have their own. That would be really funny. Can go ahead and make them discard that last card in hand. Oh, and they give up. Nice. All right. Hey there, neighbor. We are back for the post-game wrap after playing quite a few games with Perennation, and yeah, this deck definitely needs some more work. And I was honestly surprised how often people are able to answer a indestructible hexproof creature where you can't lose the game. It's honestly kind of wild. You are able to get the combo off where you discard one of your payoffs, either Phyrexian Obliterator kind of is a meme. I don't think we really got that one today. We were able to pull back Atraxa a few times, and in quite a few games we got back Herald of Eternal Dawn. Honestly, in quite a few of the other games, but people were able to answer my indestructible hexproof flying angel where you can't lose the game. I've included them in the sideboard right here. So yeah, Momentum Breaker. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. And that's honestly the problem with this deck. You don't really have many creatures. Greedy Freebooter is the only one sometimes where he's on the board. Oftentimes you have no creatures and you bring back Herald of Eternal Dawn, so that's your only creature on the board. So yeah, if they have Momentum Breaker, that can make you sacrifice a creature. Sheoldred's Edict, I think I said that in the deck intro. That was one that came to mind where they can make you sacrifice a creature. Same with Liliana of the Veil. You know, her -2 can make a target player sacrifice a creature. So Sheoldred's Edict and Liliana of the Veil, pretty popular cards right now. Momentum Breaker, I think, is also seeing a decent amount of play right now in Standard. Another crazy tech card that I saw was Nowhere to Run. Of course, creatures that then we control because it's our opponent playing this. So they lose. They don't have hexproof and their ward abilities don't trigger. So one turn, I actually had my Herald of Eternal Dawn tapped. They played 2 Nowhere to Runs to take the hexproof away. And then they actually attacked us with a Glissa Sunslayer and they chose that remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. So they actually were able to remove the indestructible and I guess the hexproof as well. Anyways, they were able to remove the indestructible counter, and then they were able to just kill the creature normally with like a go for the throat or something like that. So honestly, black has so many ways to answer it. I think the only thing white can really do is, of course, Sunfall, but that is a super popular card in Standard right now. And then in another game, Mono Blue hit me with a return all attacking creatures to their opponent's hand. It doesn't target us, so that's a way it gets around hexproof. So yeah, and on top of that, another black deck that I was playing against, they had Gix's Command. They could choose that third option down there, which says each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. So yeah, honestly, 9 answers to a indestructible hexproof creature, which is pretty crazy. Makes me kind of sad because, yeah, sometimes you get this creature down and you think that you have it in the bag, and no, the opponent sticks it out, and you're like, what are they doing? They just playing it out to play it out, but no, a lot of the times they had an answer, which, yeah, pretty crazy. So I think this deck could use a little bit of tweaking. One card, Collector's Vault, of course, amazing card. I was actually pretty happy with this Corroding Dragonstorm as well. The Surveil 2, really, really nice. And you also gain 2 life off of it. So that's a pretty nice card. New card from the Tarkir set. But yeah, we saw Perennation today. Honestly, I think this would probably be a lot better if you maybe played a lot more creatures and maybe were able to stall the game out that way until you get to 6 or 7 mana and then bring out, Herald of Eternal Dawn or an Atraxa or something like that. Just so a lot of these forced sacrifices wouldn't target just your single creature on the board. But yeah, if you have a stronger creature presence, you could get rid of one of those. So yeah, overall, yeah, I would say be careful with crafting Perennation. Because, yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed, at least with this combo right here, with the Herald of Eternal Dawn. You guys, probably a lot smarter than me, can probably think of a way better deck to craft with it. But from the games that you did see, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do have any recommendations of how to make this deck better, I would be happy to hear them. I could definitely try that out then and see how that deck performs. And as always, I love you guys. Peace out.